And for more on the Indians, who better than one of our own here at Channel 5, WTAM Tribe beat reporter Nick Camino joins us. In great road trip, one of the best in 20 years, 1988, I think, when I saw you tweet out late last night.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, if they can go 7-2 like they did, especially after that first homestand, it's nice to see them come away from especially a West Coast trip without Asdrubal Cabrera. They went 4-2 without Cabrera, an all-star, one of their team leaders. So it was nice to see, refreshing, especially from an offensive standpoint. We talked about their offense and the struggles that they had their first homestand. So it was nice to see the bats come alive 1 through 9, and hopefully they can bring that back to Cleveland now as they'll be back on Tuesday.
Yeah, what offensive problems? It's road, sweet road, baby. That's the way it goes. But a couple of bats came to life, beginning with Travis Hafner. And boy, what a great weekend he had and carried it on through the series.
Well, and Travis is going to be big for this lineup. It changes when he's in the lineup. If he's sitting in that 4 or 5 spot, you have to change the way that you pitch to Carlos Santana. You have to change the way that you pitch to Shelley Duncan. You have to change the way that you pitch to Casey Kochman, even though he's off to a slow start. Travis Hafner changes the complexion of that lineup. And unlike other years, he's healthy now. So it's going to be big to see him healthy. You know, and money talks in baseball, Mike. He's in a contract year. This is his final year of that big contract that he signed a few years back. So he's got to show 14 other teams in the American League that he can play because he's a DH. And if he can do that, he'll probably get paid next season. But so he's got to show that right now that he can play and can continue to play at a high level.
Keep showing him, Prom. Keep showing him. We could use the RBIs. How about Casey Kochman? Here's a guy who went into a slump. Then he started to hit. Then he came out of a slump. But more importantly, how about a true first baseman for the Tribe playing first base? And how big did he come up defensively on this road trip?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that stuck out to me about Casey Kochman. He is so good defensively. And this isn't a knock on Matt Laporta, but it's nice to finally have a guy over there that you can just count on to scoop up balls, avoid errors, avoid throwing that ball around. And, Mike, you point out, offensively, he has struggled. I think that'll eventually come around. This is a guy that hit .310 last season. That's not a fluke if you can do it over 150 games like he did. So I think defensively, though, that has stuck out to me early on with the signing of Casey Kochman. His defense is just a big improvement from last season, for sure.
And no more, rotating first baseman. Even Carlos Santana, it's nice to see Santana catch every single day, and obviously he's hitting the baseball right now.
Yeah, and a lot of people have said, well, why isn't Lou Marson catching as much as he was last season? Well, it's the point that you just brought up, Mike. You have a first baseman now where you can afford to put Carlos Santana behind the plate 5-6 days a week. If you do want to take Kochman out of the lineup, you could keep Carlos in the lineup by putting him over at first base or at DH. So right now, I think that they understand. There's not a fogginess of where guys are at. Guys know their roles. Lou knows he's only going to be catching 1 or 2 days a week. Carlos knows he's going to be behind the plate. And Casey Kochman, obviously, is their everyday first baseman.
And another one before I let you go. The bullpen mafia got off to a rough start here at home, 1-4, and they were just blowing up here. But on the road, boy, they're back. They're back.
They've rebounded. And the big thing is guys understand their roles. They know where they're at. Chris Perez is coming in the 9th. Vinny Pastano's coming in the 8th. And when guys know their roles, they know when that bullpen phone is going to ring. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. And I think you've seen even guys like that Indians fans aren't familiar with, like Jairo Asensio and Dan Wheeler. Those guys are starting to fit in, too. So I think you're going to start to see the bullpen mafia, as you point out, that you saw last season.
Partner, always good to have you stop by. Don't be a stranger.
Mike, appreciate it.